Listen to the essence of the world's best books with Book Gist.
Welcome to this journey of knowledge with Book Gist. First and foremost, a heartfelt thank you for subscribing and being with us. Our sole mission is to bring you the essence of the best books. And on that journey today, we're joined by David Hume's An Enquiry Concerning Human Understanding. Imagine yourself in a darkened room, when suddenly a burning lamp is placed in your hand. Instantly, every object in the room becomes visible. What was previously concealed is now clearly revealed. This is precisely what happens with comprehension. It illuminates the obscure corners of our lives. It empowers us to question, what do we believe? Why do we believe it? And is it truly correct? Often we accept many things as truth without reflection, embracing what we've been taught since childhood as ultimate verity. Yet, have you ever considered how much our lives could transform if we dared to question, to think for ourselves, and to verify? David Hume was a philosopher who taught us that nothing should be accepted with blind faith. Every idea, every belief, and every conviction must be scrutinized. His seminal work, An Enquiry Concerning Human Understanding, helps us grasp the true origin of knowledge and how it should be applied in our lives. If we integrate Hume's philosophy into our lives, we can sharpen our comprehension, make better decisions, and lead a balanced, rational, and successful existence. In today's world, flooded with information, where everyone presents their opinions as truth, the capacity for sound comprehension and reason is paramount. Social media, television, newspapers, everywhere we encounter new narratives daily. But have we ever paused to consider how much of it is truly rational? We often believe rumors without thought, form opinions based on others' words, and frequently make erroneous decisions. Hume instructs us to prioritize understanding in our lives. Every issue should be questioned, and an idea should only be embraced when proven correct through reason and experience. When we ask, is this truly correct? Is there any evidence for it? Can I verify it with my experience? We safeguard ourselves from ignorance and elevate our lives. This is why comprehension holds such profound importance. By applying Hume's thought to our lives, we can protect ourselves from delusion and cultivate independent thought. Hume believed that knowledge springs from experience, not merely from reading books or passively accepting others' words. Consider learning to ride a bicycle. Can you master it solely by reading a manual? No, you must mount the bicycle yourself, fall, rise again, and practice. This principle applies to every facet of life. If you seek success, you must learn from your experiences, verify matters for yourself, and progress by learning from your mistakes. This is the power of understanding. Hume also teaches us that our ideas and habits influence our thinking. Often we assume that if something happens once, it will always occur in the same way, but this is not true. If you have failed at a task before, it does not mean you cannot succeed again. We must liberate our thinking from the erroneous notion that the future will always mirror the past. Life changes, circumstances change, and if we act with prudence, we can reshape our lives anew. Before we dive in, tell us your name, where you're watching from, and what type of book you'd like to listen to next in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. When we comprehend that we should think critically about every matter, act with reason, and learn from our own experiences, we can improve our lives. The question now is, how do we apply Hume's wisdom in our daily existence? Firstly, we must cultivate the habit of questioning. Before accepting any statement, ask yourself, is this true? Is there any logical evidence for it? Can I verify it with my experience? When we develop this habit, we begin to perceive the world around us from a new perspective. Secondly, we must keep our minds open. Often we cling to our old notions and hesitate to embrace new ideas. However, if we wish to learn something new, we must scrutinize our old ideas and make changes where necessary. Thirdly, we must rely on reason and experience, not merely on tradition or hearsay. When we adopt this way of thinking, we become more independent, intelligent, and successful individuals. Hume's greatest lesson is this: The power of understanding and reason can guide us on the right path in life. If we reflect on every issue, learn from our experiences, and avoid self-delusion, we can lead a successful, conscious, and happy life. So, let us begin today to cultivate the habit of questioning, make decisions with prudence, and give our lives a new direction. Chapter 1. The Limits of Knowledge. Imagine standing on a mountaintop, surveying the vast world stretching to the distant horizon. What you perceive, you consider to be true. But does this imply that the entire world comprises only what falls within your gaze? Absolutely not. It is merely a microscopic portion. Perhaps something more lies hidden behind the clouds, unseen by you now. The state of our knowledge is similar. What we see, hear, or comprehend is but a segment, not the complete truth. We must acknowledge that our information is limited and that we do not know everything. From this humility springs the initiation of true understanding. How do we ascertain what we know? David Hume delved deeply into this question. He asserted that all our knowledge originates from two primary sources: experience and thought. It is crucial to understand that whatever we deem true is founded in some way on our experience or thought. But the question remains, can our knowledge ever be complete? If we look around us, we observe that we learn something new every day. Yet, we also feel that our information is incomplete. Suppose you have heard about a distant country, but until you visit it yourself, you are merely relying on hearsay. Is that entirely true? No. This is why Hume teaches us to always be humble about our knowledge and to accept that what we know might be limited.
Hume categorized knowledge into two divisions: impressions and ideas. 1. Impressions. When you directly perceive something, it becomes your impression. For instance, you have touched fire and felt the burn. This experience is real because you directly perceived it. These are the immediate sensations, the things we experience through our senses. 2. Ideas. Now, imagine you have experienced being burned by fire, and you are now thinking about fire. But this thought is not the actual fire, rather it is an image created in your mind. Hume stated that all our ideas are founded upon some impression. We cannot conceive of anything whose impression we have never experienced. This implies that all our knowledge either arises from our impressions or from ideas based on those impressions. If we do not know something directly, we can only conjecture. But we must understand that conjecture is never certain knowledge. Many of us believe that what we have been taught or what we have read in books is the ultimate truth. But Hume compels us to ponder this. Can we truly know everything? No matter how much we learn, we cannot grasp all the information in the entire world. This is why true understanding commences with humility. When we acknowledge that our information is limited, we then prepare ourselves to learn more. Humility does not mean devaluing our own knowledge. Rather, it signifies that we should always adhere to the principle that there is no limit to learning. The greatest strength of eminent scientists and philosophers is that they were always open to new ideas. If they believed they knew everything, new discoveries would never have occurred. Therefore, we too should adopt this mindset in our lives. When we concede that our knowledge is limited, we then become receptive to new experiences and new ideas. This is the true power of understanding, to perpetually keep oneself ready to learn. Chapter 2. The Potency of Experience. Imagine someone hands you a book detailing the rules of swimming, how to move your arms, when to breathe, and how to balance your body in the water. Now, consider if merely reading this book would enable you to leap into deep water and swim. No, you would have to enter the water yourself, experience sinking and regaining control. Only then could you learn to swim. This illustrates the potency of experience. True knowledge stems not merely from reading or contemplation, but from learning through direct action. Hume believed that all knowledge originates from experience. We cannot fully comprehend something until we have experienced it ourselves. Relying on conjecture, imagination, or mere hearsay provides us with incomplete information. But when we verify matters for ourselves, genuine understanding blossoms. This concept remains as vital today as it was in Hume's time. Hume stated that our minds can conceive of anything, yet until we experience it, that conception remains merely an idea. Suppose someone informs you that ice is very cold. You might accept this upon hearing it, but until you have held ice in your own hand and felt its chill, this knowledge will remain incomplete. Our entire world operates on the foundation of experience. Science is built on this principle. We do not consider something true until it is proven through experimentation and experience. Similarly, experience plays a crucial role in every decision we make in life. When we learn something new by doing it ourselves, it becomes deeply ingrained in our minds. This is why schooling is not merely about academics. It is essential to conduct experiments in the laboratory, practice languages verbally, and apply concepts in real life. Many people blindly believe what others say. From childhood, we are taught many things, but we ourselves should verify how much of it is true. Consider the power of superstition. Once, people believed the sun revolved around the earth. They accepted this as truth without experience or proof. But when scientists observed and gathered evidence, the truth emerged that the earth revolves around the sun. Some people believe that success can be achieved without effort. They think that luck alone determines everything. But if we examine the lives of successful individuals, we will see that they learned from real experience, rose from failures, and progressed through hard work. Hume teaches us that we should scrutinize every matter based on reason and experience, not blindly believe in tradition or others' words. If we follow the correct learning process, we must undertake two tasks: observation and experimentation. 1. Observation. When we pay close attention to something, we gain a deeper understanding of it. For example, if someone wishes to start a business, they must observe the methods of successful people, understand their mistakes and the reasons behind their triumphs. When we observe life's events attentively, we can also learn from the mistakes of others. 2. Experimentation. Merely observing is not enough. We must also attempt things ourselves. If you wish to learn to play the guitar, simply watching videos will not suffice. You must practice yourself. If a scientist wishes to develop a new medicine, they will not just guess, they will experiment, repeatedly test things, and observe the results. This principle applies to our lives as well. If we wish to learn something new, be it a sport, a new language, or any new skill, we must try it ourselves, make mistakes, and learn from those mistakes to progress.
If we embrace Hume's teaching that true knowledge comes from experience, we can entirely transform our lives. For this, we must take 3 crucial steps: cultivate skepticism, embrace new experiences, and practice observation and experimentation. 1. Be skeptical, challenge superstition. Do not accept every statement without thought. Ask, is this truly correct? Is there any evidence for it? If someone claims a particular method guarantees success, first verify if it is truly rational. 2. Embrace new experiences. Step out of your comfort zone and endeavor to learn new skills. Overcome fear and try things yourself, whether it's learning a new language, starting a new business, or acquiring a new skill. 3. Make observation and experimentation your habit. Observe the world attentively, learn from people, and improve yourself through their successes and failures. Verify every matter yourself and make your decisions based on experience. When we prioritize experience, our lives move in a new direction. Experience teaches us that failure is a means of learning, and every new attempt brings us closer to success. If we adopt Hume's teaching that knowledge comes from experience, we can achieve any goal in our lives. Chapter 3. The Habits of Mind. Consider this. When you wake up in the morning, do you ever ponder whether the sun will rise? Probably not. because you know the sun rises every day. When you open a door, does the thought cross your mind that it might suddenly vanish? Absolutely not. This is because our minds have become accustomed to things happening in the same way they have before. We anticipate that the future will resemble the past. But is this always true? David Hume posed this very question and demonstrated that most of our beliefs are founded on habit, not on robust reason. Hume asserts that our thoughts and actions are governed by our habits. Things we repeatedly do become so ingrained in our minds that we begin to perceive them as truth. But what if our habits are flawed? What if we hold beliefs that hinder our progress? The good news is that we can alter our habits and utilize them for our personal growth. In this chapter, we will understand how habits are formed, how they influence our thinking and working methods, and how we can leverage them to improve our lives. Our minds are designed to seek patterns and develop the habit of perceiving things as normal. If we repeatedly observe or experience something, we assume it will always remain the same. Ideas formed from experience. If the sun rises every morning, we assume it will rise tomorrow as well. If someone consistently treats us well, we believe they will continue to do so in the future. If a student finds mathematics difficult, they assume they will never understand it, even if they practice with the correct methods. Where does the problem arise? When we assume that things will never change, we fall into the trap of false notions. We begin to link our past failures with future ones. We fear trying new possibilities because we feel that everything will always remain the same. But Hume states that this way of thinking is merely a habit. It is not a universal rule that the future will mirror the past. If we change this mindset, we can bring about significant transformations in our lives. Everything we think and do is the result of some habit. Habits can influence our behavior so profoundly that we begin to accept things as true without reflection. 1. How habits shape our beliefs. If we are told from childhood that we are not good at something, we accept it as true even if we possess the ability. If we consistently give up in difficult situations, it becomes our habit to stop striving. If we repeatedly engage in negative thinking, it becomes our habit, and we start seeing the bad in everything. 2. How habits control our actions. If we cultivate the habit of procrastination, we will always postpone work. If we develop the habit of diligence, no obstacle can stop us. If we cultivate the habit of learning, we can learn something new from every situation. This implies that our thoughts and actions are intertwined with our habits. Good habits lead us towards success, while bad habits hold us back. But the good news is that we can change our habits and utilize them for our development. If we cultivate the right habits, we can completely transform our lives. For this, we must do 3 things: identify flawed habits, break them, adopt positive habits, and practice continuously. 3. Identify flawed habits and break them. First, we must discern which habits are detrimental to us. If we have the habit of procrastination, we must stop it. If we have the habit of doubting ourselves, we must challenge it. 4. Adopt positive habits. Make small changes. No habit changes in a day, therefore we must take small steps. Be self-aware. We must be conscious of our habits and observe where they are leading us. Cultivate positive thinking. Remind yourself daily that we can change our habits. 5. Practice continuously. Habits change only when we repeatedly perform them. It might seem difficult at first, but gradually, new habits will become a part of our lives. If we practice a new habit for a month, it becomes firmly established in our minds. David Hume teaches us that everything we believe is merely the result of our habits. If we believe that the future will resemble the past, it is simply mental inertia. But if we change our habits, we can give our lives a new direction. We should ask ourselves, are our habits propelling us forward or holding us back? If we desire change, we must change our habits. When we adopt the right habits,
we can achieve any goal. So start anew today. Examine your habits, improve them, and make your future better.
Chapter 4. The Illusion of Certainty. Have you ever considered how much of what you know is truly certain? Most of us believe that our beliefs, ideas, and knowledge are entirely correct. However, if we ponder deeply, we will realize that our information might be incomplete. David Hume taught us that absolute certainty is an illusion. Nothing in the world is 100% certain. We perceive things as true based on our experiences and information provided by society. But history has repeatedly shown instances where humanity's most firmly held convictions were proven wrong. There was a time when the world believed the Earth was flat, but this was later disproven. Scientists thought for years that the universe was static, but now we know it is continuously expanding. If we abandon this illusion of certainty and embrace doubt as a potent tool, we can embark on a new path of learning and understanding. In this chapter, we will explore why certainty is an illusion, how to embrace doubt as a positive force, and how to cultivate intellectual humility. We often believe that what we have learned, what we have been told, or what we think is correct. But Hume asserts that everything we know is merely the result of experience and habit, not evidence of an unshakable truth. 1. Our knowledge is dependent on experience, but it is not complete. Until something happens repeatedly, we consider it a rule. For example, the sun rises in the east every day, so we assume it will always do so. But have we obtained any logical proof that it can never change? 2. The future will not always be like the past. If a coin lands on heads 10 times after being tossed, does that mean it will also land on heads the 11th time? We only predict the future based on past patterns, but this is not certain. 3. Our senses and thoughts processes are also limited. What we see or feel is not always true. For example, when we look at a stick submerged in water, it appears bent, although it is actually straight. Our brains also harbor many types of biases that can lead us to incorrect conclusions. This implies that what appears certain to us is actually only a probability, not an absolute truth. If certainty is an illusion, does that mean we should believe in nothing? No, it simply means that we should always scrutinize matters, ask questions, and accept new ideas with an open mind. Doubt protects us from false notions. If scientists had never questioned, we would still be living based on erroneous concepts. Every great discovery began with doubt, challenging pre-existing information. Doubt helps us think better. When we question every matter, we make better decisions. For example, if someone asks you to invest and you invest without questioning, you might be defrauded. But if you think deeply and gather information, you will make a prudent decision. Doubt gives us the opportunity to learn and grow. If we assume that we already know everything, we will learn nothing new. When we believe that we can be wrong, we remain open to new ideas. Hume teaches us that doubt is not a weakness, but rather a strength. The wise person is one who can admit that they do not know everything. This quality is called intellectual humility, and it can make any individual more knowledgeable, prudent, and successful. 1. Embrace the idea, I might be wrong. When you consider something to be true, ask yourself, is this truly correct? Is there any evidence for it? Always scrutinize your thinking and also listen to the opinions of others. 2. Be prepared to learn something new. Never think that you know everything. Keep your mind open to accepting new information. 3. Do not just believe, verify for yourself. Do not believe in anything merely because someone told you so. Experience and verify matters for yourself. Chapter 5. The Illusion of Cause and Prediction. Have you ever considered whether you wake up in the morning because the alarm rings, or if you simply wake up naturally? Does the pleasant scent from the soil after rain occur due to the rain, Or is there another underlying cause? In our lives, we link everything to cause and effect. However, David Hume taught us that this can also be an illusion. Most of us believe that if one event repeatedly follows another, the first event is the cause of the second. But is this truly so? If someone wears white shoes every time they watch a cricket match and their team wins, does wearing white shoes become the cause of winning? No. Hume informs us that correlation is not always causation. In this chapter, we will understand why our notions of cause and effect might be flawed, why we should not accept anything as truth based merely on superficial appearances, and how we can apply this understanding to our decision-making and problem-solving. Our world operates on the assumption that every event has a cause, but Hume argues that this is not entirely true. We merely connect things based on experience. However, we do not definitively know if one event truly causes another. We simply observe events occurring in a sequence. If the sun rises every morning, we assume it will always do so. But it is not necessary that something which has repeatedly occurred in our experience will always happen. We confuse cause and coincidence. Suppose you always write with a particular pen before every exam and get good marks. This does not mean the pen is the cause of your success. In reality, your hard work and studies lead to good marks, not the pen. Our minds have a habit of seeking patterns. Our minds prefer to connect things even if there is no real relationship between them. If a person hears a rooster crow on the roof in the morning and then sees the sun rise, they might think that the rooster's crow causes the sun to rise.
Hume's point is that we must acknowledge that we rely only on probabilities, not on absolute certainty. Often, upon observing a relationship between two things, we assume that one causes the other, but it is not necessarily true. Correlation. When two events occur together but one does not cause the other. For example, ice cream sales increase in summer and drowning incidents also increase. Does this mean eating ice cream causes people to drown? No. The heat is actually the cause of both events. People eat ice cream in the heat and more people go swimming in the heat, leading to an increase in drowning incidents. Causation. When one event truly causes another. For example, if a person consumes poison and falls ill, this is a direct cause. Hume teaches us that whenever we observe two things connected, we should examine them before accepting them as cause and effect. If we apply Hume's ideas to our lives, we can think more effectively and make prudent decisions. First, gather evidence, then decide. Do not accept anything merely because it has happened before. Analyze every situation scientifically and logically. For example, if someone tells you that waking up early leads to success, you should examine whether there is truly a direct relationship or if it is merely a good habit that can help. Use reason instead of emotion. Often, we connect things based on our emotions, even if there is no actual relationship between them. For example, if a person has a bad interview and it rains that day, they might think the rain is the cause of their misfortune, although it is merely a coincidence. Examine problems deeply. Whenever a problem needs to be solved, first identify its real cause. Do not accept anything based merely on its external symptoms, rather delve deeper. Practice self-analysis. Look at your life and see what things you have accepted as true without verification. Are they truly correct, or are they merely ideas formed based on habit and experience? Chapter 6. Miracles and the Power of Skepticism. Have you ever heard of miracles that seem to defy scientific reason? For instance, someone walking on water, recovering from a serious illness without medicine, or predicting future events? When we hear such accounts, what should be our initial question? Did it truly happen, or is there a probability of it being true? David Hume teaches us that we should not accept every extraordinary claim without questioning. He stated that miracles are violations of natural laws, and whenever someone tells us a story of a miracle, we should ask, is there any specific reason to believe this? In this chapter, we will understand why Hume did not believe in miracles, why extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and how critical thinking can help us make sound decisions in our daily lives. David Hume discussed miracles in detail in his book An Enquiry Concerning Human Understanding and rejected them. His argument was that there was no specific basis for believing in miracles. Natural laws are never broken. Hume states that natural laws are always consistent. Fire is hot, water flows, and objects fall due to gravity. If someone claims to have seen a person flying in the air without any support, we should consider this. Is it truly possible, or is it merely an illusion? Stories of miracles often originate from sources whose reliability is doubtful. Whenever a miracle occurs, there are very few people who witness it, and their accounts change by the second or third telling. People want to believe miracles are true. Human nature is such that people want to believe in extraordinary things even if there is no specific evidence for them. Hume states that for religious, social, and cultural reasons, people also believe stories of miracles to be true. Therefore, whenever someone tells us a story of a miracle, we should not immediately believe it, but rather verify it first. Hume's most famous argument is, if an extraordinary claim is made, it also requires extraordinary evidence to prove it. Small claims require small evidence. If someone says they drank tea today, we do not need much evidence to believe it. It is a common occurrence that we see happening every day. Extraordinary claims require strong evidence. If someone claims to have seen tea floating in the air without a cup, this would be an extraordinary claim. To believe such a claim, their word alone is not sufficient. We need specific corroboration such as scientific experiments, photos, or videos. History teaches us that miracles have often been disproven. Many times, people spread stories of miracles due to emotional fervor. With scientific advancements, things that were previously considered miracles are now regarded as ordinary scientific phenomena, such as solar eclipses, lightning, or medical treatments. This implies that if we are to believe in anything, we should first conduct a thorough investigation about it. If we apply Hume's ideas to our lives, we can avoid much deception and misinformation. Critical thinking helps us to evaluate every matter based on reason and make sound decisions. Avoiding superstition. Often people accept that wearing a particular ring will change their fortune, or that traveling on a certain date is impostous. If we evaluate these matters on the basis of reason, we will learn that they have no scientific basis. Protection from deception. In today's world, many people try to earn money by making false claims, whether it's fake doctors, magicians, or online scammers. If we verify every claim, we can easily avoid this deception. Making better decisions. If we are shown an advertisement for a product claiming it is 100% effective, we should first see if there is any scientific evidence for it. Similarly, if a leader or individual makes a grand claim, we should examine its basis.
Chapter 7. Mastering Uncertainty. Have you ever considered that our knowledge about the future is never entirely certain? When we make a decision, whether related to career, relationships, or finances, we never truly know what the outcome will be. Nevertheless, most people seek absolute security. They desire a guarantee for every decision they make, but the reality is that nothing in life is certain. David Hume teaches us that embracing uncertainty is true wisdom. Those who proceed as if everything is certain cannot avoid mistakes. However, those who understand probabilities, think on that basis, and take calculated risks tend to be more successful. Most people wish for their decisions to be 100% accurate, but this is impossible. Every option carries some degree of risk. Hume's argument is that we should abandon the hope of absolute certainty and cultivate the habit of thinking based on probabilities. 1. Do not seek perfect answers, but improved ones. Often, people wait for the right moment and delay making decisions, but the right moment never truly arrives. No decision is entirely right or wrong. It merely depends on probabilities. 2. Gather information, then evaluate probabilities. If you wish to invest in a new business, you need to assess the probability of success and the extent of the risk. Instead of shooting in the dark, make decisions based on information and data. 3. Conduct small experiments. If you're working on a new idea, first try it on a small scale. This will allow you to learn without significant loss. If you demand guarantees for everything, you will never be able to make big decisions. Therefore, understanding risk and taking risks at the right time is crucial. Understand probability. If you understand the mathematical probability of something's success, you can make better decisions. For example, if you want to leave your job to start a business, see how many out of 10 people succeed in business. If 3 succeed, your probability is 30%. Now you must decide whether you want to take this risk. Evaluate risk. Every major decision is risky, but some risks are taken prudently while others are foolish. For example, prudent risk. Starting a business with small initial investments and progressing by learning. Foolish risk. Investing a large sum of money without any research. Do not be afraid to make mistakes. If you avoid making decisions out of fear of being proven wrong, you will always remain where you are. Successful individuals are not afraid to make mistakes. They learn from their mistakes and move forward. Many of us believe that if we can control everything, we will be successful. But the reality is that those who embrace uncertainty and transform it into their strength are the ones who advance. Do not fear change. Embrace it. The world is changing rapidly. If you do not adapt to changing circumstances, you will fall behind. Success comes to those who are willing to learn new things and are not afraid to take risks. Do not fear failure. Learn from it. Hume states that true wisdom is not that you will never make a mistake, but rather how quickly you learn and correct yourself after making a mistake. Those who fear failure can never muster the courage to do anything new. Every decision is an experiment. If you treat every decision like an experiment, you will not be afraid to make mistakes. Success comes to those who conduct small experiments, move forward, and continuously improve themselves. Chapter 8. The Art of Thinking for Oneself. Have you ever felt that societal, familial, or peer pressure compels you to think and decide in a particular way? Have you ever witnessed situations where people accept an idea without question, simply because everyone else is doing it? If so, you must understand that independent thinking is a hallmark of true wisdom. David Hume teaches us that we should learn to think for ourselves, not to passively accept others' ideas without reflection. If we merely follow the crowd, we will never reach the truth. This chapter will demonstrate how we can shield ourselves from external influences, think independently, and transform logical thought into our strength. In our society, it often happens that people accept ideas without reason, believing them to be true without questioning what they have learned from their family, religion, or society. They believe that if everyone does it, it must be correct. They fear questioning because it might make them seem different. Hume tells us that this is mental slavery. If we do not think for ourselves, we are merely blindly imitating the ideas of others. How does the influence of the crowd weaken us? 1. It eradicates our ability to think for ourselves. If you accept every matter without questioning, your mind will merely reiterate the opinions of others. 2. It forces us to make wrong decisions. When something becomes popular, people perceive it as true, even if it lacks any logic. 3. It stifles new thoughts and discoveries. The world has progressed because of people who thought against the crowd and presented new ideas. In today's age where everyone attempts to impose their opinions on others through social media and the internet, independent thinking has become even more crucial. 1. To avoid fake news and misinformation. False news and rumors are spread daily on the internet. If you believe them without verification, you can easily be misled. 2. To avoid falling into the trap of marketing and advertising. Large companies try to convince you that if you do not buy their products, you're missing out on something. But if you think logically, you will understand that not every expensive item is superior. 3. to make important life decisions for yourself, be it career, relationships, or financial investments. If you merely follow others' advice, that decision might not be right for you. Making decisions for yourself, understanding your situation, is true freedom.
Now the question is, how do we train our minds to think independently and not accept anything without reason? 1. Cultivate the habit of questioning. Whenever someone gives you information, ask yourself, where did this information come from? Does it have any scientific or logical basis? Is there any bias in it? 2. Do not blindly accept any idea. If someone tells you that something is true because it is written in a book or because our ancestors said so, do not accept it without verification. Evaluate every matter on the basis of reason and evidence. 3. Think from different perspectives. Do not just listen to one side of an issue. If you want to understand a problem, listen to both sides' arguments, and then decide for yourself which is correct. 4. Develop the habit of reading and learning. Read books by great thinkers. Learn about science, philosophy, and psychology so that you can understand things deeply. 5. Clarify your thoughts by writing them down. When you think about something, write it down. This will help you to clarify your ideas. Chapter 9. Understanding life. Have you ever considered that true knowledge stems not merely from books, but from life's experiences? Most of us live by accepting established truths, yet few truly cultivate the habit of thinking, questioning, and learning to understand the world and develop themselves. David Hume's philosophy teaches us that if we wish to deeply comprehend our lives, we must learn to balance skepticism and prudence. Hume instructs us that we should scrutinize every matter rather than blindly accepting what we have been taught. However, merely questioning is not enough. We must also apply our understanding to reality. 1. Question everything, but also make sound decisions. Simply doubting and considering everything to be wrong is not wisdom. We must use our understanding to determine when to doubt and when to move forward. 2. Learn from your experience. According to Hume, true knowledge comes from experience, not merely from thinking or reading books. This means that if you want to understand something, try it, experiment with it, and learn from your experience. 3. Think with an open mind and avoid preconceptions. We must understand that the world is not divided merely into black and white. Every issue has many facets. Listen to every new idea with an open mind and evaluate its logic. Then decide if it is correct. Often when people adopt a skeptical mindset like Hume's, they begin to question everything so much that they cannot make any decisions. But merely doubting does not propel life forward. We must also take action. How to maintain the right balance between skepticism and action. Verify every matter, but once sufficient information is gathered, make a decision. Do not be afraid to make mistakes. If a decision proves wrong, learn from it and move forward. Try something new. Then verify it based on your experience. A good example is if you want to start a new business, do not just sit and contemplate possibilities. First, try it on a small scale, gain experience, and then steer your decision in the right direction. David Hume tells us that the journey of understanding never ends. Those who stop learning gradually fall prey to dogmatic thinking. Therefore, if you wish to improve your life, you must always remain curious. 1. Cultivate the habit of learning something new. Read something new every day. Visit new places. Meet new people. Strive to expand your knowledge a little bit every day. 2. Keep yourself updated. The world is changing rapidly. If you do not keep yourself updated with new information and technology, you will fall behind.
learning should not be limited to school or college. It is a lifelong process. 3. Keep your mind open. It is possible that the ideas you have been taught since childhood are not entirely correct. Always be ready to hear and understand new ideas. So friends, today we have discussed the main themes of David Hume's book, An Enquiry Concerning Human Understanding. Hume tried to explain to us that our knowledge is dependent on experience and the senses, and there is no absolute truth beyond reason or imagination. Hume believed that all knowledge comes from impressions and ideas. The principle of cause and effect is not always certain. It is merely a habit dependent on our experience. He questioned miracles and stated that until there is specific evidence, we should remain skeptical. He asserted that we form our decisions and beliefs not from reason, but from habit and experience. So, can we accept anything as 100% true? Hume says no. We must always leave room for doubt and verify our knowledge based on experience. So, that was today's book summary. Don't forget to let us know what you thought in the comments, and if you liked it, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. We'll see you in the next video. To get more videos like this, subscribe to our Book Gist channel and ring the notification bell to be the first to receive updates. Thank you so much for listening until the end.